Hello everyone, welcome to BSS News Bulletin. This is Tahmina Nupur and here are the top news of this hour. Advisor Syeda Rizwana Hasan calls for Muslim world's leadership in achieving 3-0's goal. Rohingya repatriation, a collective duty of international community, says Bangladesh. Former Chief Election Commissioner of Bangladesh, Shamsul Huda, dies at 83. BRICS nation to denounce Trump tariffs. Texas flood, toll rises to 24 as rescuers search for missing children. Now let's go for the details. Advisor Syeda Rizwana Hasan calls for Muslim world's leadership in achieving 3-0's goal. Environment, Forest and Climate Change Advisor Syeda Rizwana Hasan today urged sincere social responsibility to achieve zero poverty, zero unemployment and zero net carbon emissions. She made the call as chief guest at the International Social Business Summit ISBS 2025 held at Hotel Bengal Blueberry in Gulshan, Dhaka. Rizwana said ethical values must be practiced, not just spoken. She warned that ultra-capitalism is harming the planet and deepening inequality. She stressed the need to cut overconsumption, stop wars, and act on Islamic values of fairness and justice. She said, why is it that many Muslim countries remain silent when innocent Palestinians are being killed? Brotherhood without moral courage is meaningless. Also praised Zakat as a model for fair wealth distribution. Calling for broader human unity, the environment advisor said that we are not supposed to hate or discriminate. We are meant to speak from compassion, embrace diversity, and value all communities. Rohingya repatriation, a collective duty of international community, says Bangladesh. Bangladesh urged the international community to ensure the safe, dignified, and voluntary repatriation of the Rohingyas to Myanmar. Bangladesh's permanent representative to the United Nations office in Geneva, Ambassador Tareq Mohammad Ariful Islam, made the call to the 59th session of the United Nations Human Rights Council during the adoption of a resolution led by the Organization of Islamic Cooperation on Friday afternoon, 4th July. He said it is the collective duty of the global community to uphold the rights of the Rohingya and create conditions for their return to Rakhine State. Ambassador Tareq Mohammad Ariful Islam expressed concern over violence in Rakhine by Myanmar's military and armed groups, including the Arakan Army. He said nearly 118,000 Rohingyas have fled to Bangladesh since November 2023. He stressed the need for concrete outcomes from the upcoming high-level conference in New York this September. The resolution voiced concern over declining aid, called for fair responsibility sharing and demanded full humanitarian access and accountability in Rakhine. The 59th session of the United Nations Human Rights Council began on 16th June and will continue until 9th July 2025. Former Chief Election Commissioner of Bangladesh Shamsul Huda dies at 83. ATM Shamsul Huda, the former Chief Election Commissioner, died at the age of 83. Family sources said he passed away at his residence in Dhaka's Gulshan around 9 a.m. on Saturday. The 9th parliament election was held under his leadership in 2008. BRICS nations to denounce Trump tariffs. Leaders of BRICS nations are gathering in Rio de Janeiro from Sunday, where they are expected to strongly oppose the trade policies of the United States President Donald Trump. The summit begins amid rising tensions over new U.S. tariffs and ongoing Middle East conflicts. Sources familiar with the negotiations said BRICS leaders, who represent nearly half of the world's population and 40% of global economic output, are coming together against what they believe are unfair import tariffs imposed by the United States. Since taking office in January, President Donald Trump has threatened both allies and rivals with several rounds of tariffs. New tariff rates are expected to be announced on 9th July. Letters informed trading partners about these changes are said to be sent out from Friday. Diplomats from 11 BRICS nations including Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa are preparing a joint statement condemning economic uncertainty. The final declaration is not likely to name the United States or its president directly, but it will send a clear political message against Washington's policies. The political influence of the summit is expected to be affected by the absence of Chinese President Xi Jinping. This is the first time he is skipping the annual meeting in 12 years. He recently hosted Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva in Beijing and is sending Chinese Premier Li Qiang in his place. Russian President Vladimir Putin, who is facing war crimes charges, will also not attend in person but will join the summit via video link according to the Kremlin. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian will also be absent. His country is recovering from a 12-day conflict with Israel, according to a source familiar with the talks. BRICS members are divided over how to address the conflicts in Gaza and between Iran and Israel. Iran is pushing for a stronger collective position beyond just calling for peace and a Palestinian state. Artificial intelligence and health will also be on the summit agenda. Newer members of BRICS now include Saudi Arabia, Iran and the United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Ethiopia and Indonesia. While the expansion has increased international influence, it has also introduced more internal differences. Texas flood toll rises to 24 as rescuers search for missing children. At least 24 people have died and around 20 girls are missing after a flash flood swept through Kerr County in south-central Texas on Friday. The flood hit a riverside summer camp following torrential rains overnight. Kerr County Sheriff Larry Leitha confirmed the death toll during an evening press conference. Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick said some of the victims were children and that around 23 girls attending Camp Mystic were still missing. Texas Governor Greg Abbott announced a disaster declaration to increase emergency resources in the region. United States President Donald Trump said the situation was shocking and confirmed that federal aid would be provided. A major rescue operation is ongoing involving 500 personnel and 14 helicopters. Officials said more rain may impact other countries. That's all for today. For more information, visit bssnews.net. Thanks for watching.